When a billionaire black woman faces blatant prejudice from a flight crew who refuse to believe she owns the private jet, what unfolds is a story of resilience and poetic justice. From humiliation to triumph, her actions will leave everyone stunned. Let's dive into Samantha Johnson's journey, a tale of empowerment, accountability, and breaking barriers. Samantha Johnson, a 34-year-old self-made billionaire, stood under the clear Miami skies. The morning sun reflected off her sleek gold watch, a symbol of the relentless effort that had propelled her to the top of the tech industry. Dressed in a perfectly tailored Navy suit, she radiated confidence and authority. Today's mission was simple, a business trip to New York. But for Samantha, nothing ever came without a fight. As she approached her private jet, she noticed a group of uniformed crew members standing nearby. Their murmurs and occasional glances in her direction carried an air of disdain. Leading them was Captain Thomas Sanders, a man whose posture seemed as rigid as his prejudices. His piercing blue eyes swept over Samantha, failing to hide his skepticism. When she reached the foot of the jet's stairs, he stepped forward with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "I'm sorry, ma'am," he said, his voice oozing with fake politeness. "This jet is reserved for VIPs. Perhaps there's been a misunderstanding." Samantha paused, her gaze sharp and unyielding. "There's no misunderstanding," she replied. "I am the VIP, Samantha Johnson." Thomas blinked, his expression briefly betraying disbelief before twisting into a smirk. "Right," he said, dragging out the word. "Let me double-check. In the meantime, you can wait in the lounge." Behind her, Marcus, Samantha's trusted assistant, bristled with anger. He took a step forward, ready to defend her, but she stopped him with a calm gesture. Turning on her heel, she headed toward the lounge without a word. But as she walked, her mind raced. Samantha was no stranger to prejudice dressed up as professionalism, and she knew exactly how to handle it. Inside the luxurious lounge, Samantha sank into a plush leather chair. The crystal chandeliers and marble floors did little to ease the sting of the encounter. Picking up her phone, she dialed her legal team. Her voice remained steady as she detailed the incident, outlining a plan for immediate action. Across the room, Marcus stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the crew outside. Their laughter and exaggerated gestures were easy to read, their arrogance unmistakable. Marcus clenched his fists, his frustration barely contained. An hour passed, every minute stretching unbearably. When the lounge doors finally opened, Captain Thomas entered, his smug expression firmly in place. "Unfortunately, the jet's owner isn't available right now," he announced, feigning regret. Samantha rose gracefully, her every movement exuding control. "Good," she said with icy calm. "We'll discuss this now." Without waiting for a response, she strode past Thomas, her heels clicking decisively on the marble floor. Marcus followed close behind, his loyalty and determination palpable. At the jet's entrance, Samantha pulled out her credentials and presented them with effortless authority. The crew froze, their confidence crumbling as they realized the truth. The jet, this luxurious symbol of power, belonged to her. Thomas stammered, his face pale. "This is your jet?" "Indeed," Samantha replied, her voice sharp and unwavering. "And as of now, you and your team are dismissed. Gather your belongings and leave immediately." The crew filed out, their earlier arrogance replaced by shame. Samantha stood at the top of the jet steps, her gaze steady as she watched them go. Once they had disappeared, she allowed herself a brief smile. But she wasn't finished. Pulling out her phone, Samantha contacted her PR team. Within minutes, cameras were set up to document the incident. As the footage captured the crew's departure, Samantha's commanding presence at the top of the stairs became a powerful image of justice. The video went viral within hours, igniting conversations about systemic racism and discrimination. Hashtags like #KnowHerName and #FlightPrivilege trended worldwide, turning Samantha's experience into a rallying cry for change. The airline quickly issued an apology, filled with vague promises and corporate jargon. But Samantha knew that wasn't enough. At a press conference the next day, she addressed a global audience. "This isn't just about me," she began, her voice calm but firm. "Even with wealth and success, we are not immune to prejudice. This is a systemic issue, and it's time we confront it head-on." Her words resonated, sparking a wave of support. 2 weeks later, Samantha launched her initiative, Open Skies. Its mission was clear: to make the aviation industry more inclusive and equitable. The program offered scholarships for aspiring pilots from underrepresented backgrounds, mandatory diversity training for staff, and mentorship opportunities to dismantle systemic barriers. The response was overwhelming. Letters poured in from former crew members eager to join her movement. Samantha welcomed them, knowing their insights could drive real change. As for Captain Thomas and his crew, their careers came to an abrupt end. Public outrage ensured they became cautionary tales, a reminder that discrimination has consequences. On her first flight under open skies, Samantha boarded her jet with a diverse and enthusiastic crew. Each face reflected her commitment to equality and her vision for a better future. Settling into her seat, Samantha gazed out at the endless horizon. This journey wasn't just about reaching New York. It was about breaking barriers and creating a world where everyone had a fair chance to soar. If you found Samantha's story inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to Unfolded Tales Explain and press the bell icon. Let's continue unfolding stories that inspire, challenge, and change perspectives.